What's up YouTubers? So today I'm going to show you two different things. First of all, I'm going to show you how to tune your snare drum to pitch using the drum dial and the tune bot. Secondly, I'm going to show you how to get two variations of the same pitch but completely different tones. Let me explain what I mean. So by tuning the top and bottom head differently, we can tune the drum to the same fundamental frequency but have different tones. So for instance, if we tune the top head tight and the bottom head loose, we'll have more attack and less sustain. But if we tune the bottom head tight and the top head loose, we'll have more sustain and less attack. So let's take a look at the two different styles of tuning. First, we're going to start with my favorite, which is going to give us more attack and less sustain. We're going to tune the top head, the batter head. We're going to tune that tighter, and the bottom head, or the resonant head, we're going to tune looser. So for these two techniques of tuning, we're going to tune the bottom head, or the resonant head, first. So as of right now, both the top and the bottom head are only finger tight. So I'm going to start by just turning these up a little bit, quarter turns. Just to the point where we're getting a little bit of tone from our drum. Always remember to do opposite lugs when tuning so that the drum tunes up equally. So the drum dial comes with a spacer so that you know how far to hold this from the edge of, or the rim of the drum. And I'm just going to use this to tune the bottom up, and we're going to tune this up to about 72. So now that we have our bottom head all tuned equally to 72, we're going to flip it over and we're going to take a look at the batter head. Now again, it's just finger tight. So once again, I'm going to take my key, I'm going to do quarter turns just until we get a little bit of tone. So that's about right. And now from here, we're going to take our drum dial and we're going to do same thing where we tune everything up equally. But for the batter head, I like to tune to about 90 is where we're going to start anyways. That I feel like is kind of the sweet spot for the batter head. So now that we have every lug on the batter head tuned to 90, we can set our drum dial aside and we can take our tune bot and put it on the rim. And now we're going to find the fundamental frequency of this drum. We're going to keep the snare wires off because the tune bot has a hard time reading the note when the snare wires are on. So right now we're sitting at 196, which I know is really close to G. G is 195, which just happens to be my favorite note to tune the snare drum to. I mean, obviously there are some keys that you have to tune that up or down to fit in, but for today, we're going to try tuning this to a G, which is 195. So we're just going to bring this down until we're sitting at 195. Okay, and there we are. I also want to add that I like to use these snare weights to help with the overtone. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a little bit of extra overtone there. That kind of gets rid of it. Okay, now we have our snare drum tune, technique number 1, tune to a G. I'm going to put these on because it's going to get loud. Okay, let's take a look at the second tuning technique. So for the second tuning technique, we're gonna set the resonant head tight and the batter head loose. So again, right now everything is just finger tight. So I'm gonna just do quarter turns until we have a little bit of our tone. Okay, now that we have a little bit of our tone here, we're gonna once again use our drum dial to set our tension. Now for our second tuning technique, we're gonna set the bottom head to about 83. That's what I like to start at. Okay, now we have all of our lugs on the resonant head all equally tuned to 83. I just wanted to note, I'm a big fan of these Gibraltar Lug Locks. I will use these on the bottom heads to keep these lugs from loosening and falling out. Okay, now let's take a look at our batter head again. And again, we're just finger tight right now. So I'm gonna use my key and we're just gonna tune this up till we start getting tone. Okay, so we're starting to get tone. Now we're gonna use our drum dial once again. And for the technique number 2, we're gonna set the tensions for every lug on the batter head at about 85. Now remember, our resonant head is at around 82, 83. So that means that our heads right now are gonna be very close in tension, which is gonna give us a little bit more resonance or sustain. Okay, so once again we have our tensions all equal across the board. I cannot reiterate enough, one of the reasons we're using the drum dial is to make sure that our tensions are the same on every lug. One of the reasons why you get some crazy overtones and some crazy rings is because there are mismatched tensions. So we're gonna set our drum dial aside and we're gonna grab our tune bot. And again, we're gonna leave the snare wires off. So right now we're at 185, which is a little bit low. So we're gonna bring that up to 195, which again will be our G. Okay, and there we are. 195. Again, I'm going to use my snare weight to get rid of a little of this extra resonance. I'll be sure to link all the products that I'm using down below. Okay, well there you have it. 2 different ways to tune the snare drum to the same fundamental frequency, but have 2 completely different tones. I'm gonna link everything I've used down below if you're interested in grabbing something for yourself. Happy tuning.